Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Occasionally Effective for the grand finale of the Sky Tournament. I, of course, am Quality Jam, and I'm here, as always, with my wonderful co-host, Papa Paradox.
Hello.
I am looking forward to this. Let's beat right to the chase. This is going to be fantastic.
Okay,
Black Flight Squadron versus the Falconeers. This is going to be a brilliant and bloody match.
Very true. Two traditionally brawly teams. We got BFS taking those that half snipe junker pyramidian build, which is very interesting.
Yep.
Now I have to ask you, was I the only one who lost it during the intro when I saw BFS's names?
BFS's names?
Look at the names of their ships.
Hold on. Really? Really? Black Flight Squadron. Black Flight Squadron. I love you so much. You'll get to see this very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, you know what? I lied earlier. I said a bloody match. In fact, it's going to be bloody matches. For those who don't know, this is going to be a best of 5. It is going to be brilliant. Now, as to the intro music, as people are talking about it, that was a lovely piece composed by the wonderful Vasadendric, of course. Composed lovingly for us. It is sort of meant to be used in the cogs, but we love the piece so much. Well, I love the piece so much, and I want to use it for as many streams as possible. So, there we go. That is Observers of Legend by Vasadendric. I shall post a Sky music link to it.
SoundCloud link.
SoundCloud, that's the one I was looking for. Thank you.
Sky.
I was thinking Sky, Cloud. I'm confused, all right?
I know immediately what you're going for there.
Quite. All right, let's go have a look at the matches today. Here we are, the Falconeers. The Enoch, a Pyramidian as always, piloted by Roman Carr with Atmos Defiler, a Wild Godzilla, and Tapau. With Apraxia Lyri, of course, piloted by Nid, with N. Sunderland, Petchka, and Badfoot. Sadly, Afayach has had to sub out today. Apparently there's something going on, and he's had to do something in the real world. So, there we go. It'll be interesting to see whether Roman Carr can hold up to Afayach and Nid's coordination with these two ships. It could be interesting to see what happens between the two, and whether this is going to really hit the Falconeers hard, or if they'll be able to pull through because of it.
So do we want to give them a rundown of the tournament results as they stood to get here?
Can I go through Black Flight Squadron ship and crew first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Black Flight Squadron piloting the Junker Art Online, which is what Papa Paradox was talking about earlier. Piloted by Gilda, Detwan Fire, ASDF Pony, and Chris Torrio. And the Ulysses, piloted by Brick Hardcastle, crewed by Jeff the Deaf, Scratch Moded, and Raptor Systems. So very standard crews from the Black Flight Squadron. It's going to be good to see. So what did happen? Papa Paradox, seeing as you volunteered, what did happen?
We had the quarterfinal matchups, Corvus versus Polaris Company, which turned out to be a very snipe-heavy match indeed. Poor Honey Badger and Fade had to cast that game. And then we got Musosaurus versus Pastafarians. Both those games were 2-0s. Pastafarians cleaned up the Musosaurus fairly dominantly in that game. Couple bad choice engagements from Musosaurus. And then moving on to the semifinals, we had BFS versus Polaris Company. A lot quicker, but we saw the Russians start to get fatigued through the snipe-heavy series that they ended up playing, so BFS ended up taking that. And that's not to diminish any of BFS's skill. They deserved that win entirely, chipping away at Polaris Company. And we had the Falconeers versus Pastafarians, which ended up being 2-0. Very swift win from Falconeers, using that Hwacha to its full potential, and that leads us to today's finals, which is BFS versus Falconeers.
Excellent. Now we see here we are heading into the newest map. We decided to start with this, which is Parisian Rumble, which is a deathmatch variant on the Labyrinth. It is not an exact copy-paste of the Labyrinth, of course. We see, instead of the globe in the center, we've instead duplicated well, not duplicated so much as used similar set pieces of this wall we see on the left, and we've put it up through the C and D area instead of having this globe in the center. Now, the map, for some reason, is very, very green, and I'm not 100% sure why, because it's not very green when you're in the map.
I think it's just a sense of scale. When you know, zoom out, you start to see the textures kind of mix, and yeah, it does kind of give off a green vibe.
Okay. I only just realized, yep, alright, so they've changed the names on the BFS ships. They have changed them to QWERTY Artnyan and Papa P. Kun.
This is gonna be fun to do
Oh,
play-by-play.
Jesus. It's literally going to be QWERTY and Papa. That's the only way I can play-by-play that. And of course, we have the Falco Enoch and the Apraxia Lyri.
So both teams grouping up, being careful, steering clear of the middle, being wary of it. You know, it's annoying to get in there, get caught in a very bad situation, especially with the Apraxia Lyri. With those disabling watches, it'd be very easy to get caught out. But that does also mean it's harder to get gun angles for your watches.
The Blues spawning quite a way away from each other in both corners there. Good to see that they're grouping up. They're not going to sort of head in on their own, which of course you would expect from this level of play. The Papa and the QWERTY, god damn it, are just sort of sitting around to the side. I'll be interested to see whether they stick there or not. I suppose, to answer that question, we should have a look at some builds. So on the QWERTY Artnyan, we have a Gatling front, a double carronade port, and a Gat flak starboard.
Now that's an interesting choice.
That's very strange. I can understand the balloon shred on a map with this much terrain. Like, I certainly understand that. But yeah, it's risky. It's very risky. You've got to be extremely close to make that work. The Papa P-kun has...
An all-Hwacha galleon.
An all-Hwacha galleon with Gatling and flare.
Does it flak? No, Gat. Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, no piercing damage on the Hwacha, unless I'm getting that wrong again.
No, you're right, but like when you have two of them, it stops mattering at that point.
Yeah, it stops mattering, but it's certainly more effective if the armor's already shredded by something like a Gatling with a piercing value. On the Falco Enoch, we have, oh my god, surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen, they've gone with a brawl build. Gatling mortar front, the classic, it's a classic Falconeer loadout by this point. They've taken it a lot. It's great to see. It's an old familiar for them. And we've got a carronade flare side on the Enoch. Apraxia Lyri, of course, is going to run that Hwacha front with, interestingly enough, a dual Artemis. I might not have taken those weapons on Petition Rumble simply because that they have no turning arcs or speed at all. Trying to shoot through these buildings is going to be a matter of turning aiming with the ship instead of aiming with the weapon.
I mean, it looks like both teams are really leaning towards that heavy disabling builds. They want to get rid of their balloon and just have them running into the scrap, have the map do 90% of the work, right?
Yep.
But I don't know how I feel about carronades on that one junker on the red team. We'll see how that works.
We'll see. At the moment, the Black Flight Squadron is doing exactly what we would expect from their loadout and their previous playstyles. We've got them just skirting around the side of the map, looking for the most open place possible, which would probably be where they are now, would be the most open area of the map. They might, maybe the top right-hand corner, E5, would be a little more so open, especially if they could get right into that corner. But apart from that, it's a really, really closed off map. We see the QWERTY Artnyan sort of skirting around as well, and keeping that Gat flak side pointed inwards. They're only going to turn the carronade if they get charged.
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park where the Tyrannosaurus Rex just is kind of staring at them, right?
Yeah.
Like they're so close to each other right now. I'm surprised we haven't seen spots go down. That one bell tower or like clock tower is the only thing separating these two teams.
Yeah, this clock tower in C4 is the only thing blocking their line of sight. I wouldn't expect it to be too much longer. Mind you, Nyan and Papa Pikun are very much hidden at this point. It's going to be very difficult for the BFS to get spots. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a spot go down from the...
I mean, the Apraxia Leary's sitting really high up in the air.
Yeah, there we go.
You're just looking. Yeah, there's the first spot.
All right, so at least they know the approximate area of both ships. Interesting to see how far down and hidden Nyan is.
I mean, they're standing at about, what, 2,000 meters between the Papa Pecan and the Apraxia, so trying to land those watch barrages is going to be really difficult.
I'd love a scale on the map.
One block is 1,000 meters, I'm pretty
on this
sure.
map?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And I think, what's the max range on a Quacha, like 27 or something? 2,700 meters?
No,
Could be getting that wrong.
No way. Surely not.
Or
Not
is it
that long.
1,700?
17? Yeah, it's not 2,700. God, no.
Okay. Yeah, that's approaching Lumberjack and Field Mark territory.
Yep, that's...
Apraxia Leary is wide open here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him charging in so far ahead of the Falco Enoch. Falco Enoch does have the gun arcs, but Apraxia Leary is taking a ton of damage from that Huacha barrage from Papa Pecan. Papa Pecan has one gun down, taking a constant stream of damage from that Gatling. They need to time these mortar shots well if they're going to... not quite doing it. No real hull damage done yet. Nyan didn't have the best of gun arcs for a long time, and Papa Pecan's taken a lot of damage for it. Nyan trying to discourage. Papa Pecan taking a lot of damage. That Huacha barrage, Gat mortar combo hooking into it. Apraxia Leary and Falco Enoch are going to know where Nyan is. They're going to turn quickly, not activating any Phoenix Claws or Kerosenes. Let's just have a look. They have Kerosenes. They don't have any Phoenix Claws there, so we're not going to see any quick turning from them. Nyan slinking back into those buildings. A bit of a tar barrel to block that approach. Very nice choice. And he's just going to try and slip out through the buildings here. Ooh, Papa Pecan spawning a long ways away there.
Yeah, very bad spawns. And this tar didn't really go in his favor either, because as soon as he started, the wind just blew it into him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're separated by two blue ships. So it could be very difficult for these two ships to meet back up.
Okay, just quickly, am I the only one who thinks that the flares on this map look so insanely cool compared to every other map?
Bright neon green annoys me as an observer.
Really? I love it. I reckon it was awesome.
Unless it helps me see the ships through the cloud in a really annoying engagement, right? Then it's really helpful.
Unlockable customization option in adventure mode, different colored flares.
I'd be so down for that.
Then just get ships full of different colored flares, get into this map and just rave. I'd be so down for that. I want different colored flares.
In the last engagement, I'm really surprised the Apraxia Leary's guns did not go down. Like, they ate, like, 2 full Watch barrages right in their face.
Yeah.
And it didn't disable their gun. I was sitting there looking at the disable menu on the right.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. And I was like, How?
What? Yeah. I definitely put the loss of that engagement down to the Nyan at this point. I don't think his position was the best. The Falconeers had a long period of engagement on Papa Pecan before Qwerty could even bring his gun arcs to bear on them because he was hiding behind that building. He couldn't physically turn or move without revealing himself and in turn becoming the target of the focus. So by the time he had the gun arcs, Papa Pecan was already dead. Like, it was kind of disappointing to see. And of course, with the single damage from the Nyan at that point, because Papa Pecan had a lot of disable, because Apraxia Leary was doing its job, it just wasn't enough damage to take down a Falconeer ship.
Like, I would have liked to see the Qwerty move in to, like, try and ram and get rid of some of the arcs on his teammate. Getting rid of that Watcher would have really helped.
Yep.
Because that's what supplemented the explosive damage to just, eviscerate the hull in combination with the mortar.
Yep.
So yeah, they had a really rough run.
Let's have a look. Papa Pecan, the gunners, of course, well, the engineers, of course, all have heavy clip for those Swatcher barrages. No burst, so should the... I don't know, I would have liked to see maybe one of them take burst, simply so that when the Falconeers charge in, and they will charge in,
Yeah, they'll just eat some burst rounds, disable everything,
That
and
would have taken down the Hwacha.
yeah,
I don't know,
I agree.
maybe a bit of an oversight there. Uh, I
I think they were going for durability, right? That's why
yeah.
they have three engineers. So I'm thinking they were uh, planning on going like two NG hull just to try and get it up quick if they felt they needed to take like in that last engagement where they had two ships on them for way too long.
Way too long.
I mean, Blue's not at a huge advantage, but taking a galleon on a map where it's really easy to get velcroed and like ricochet off buildings if you're not paying attention
Yep.
can be very rough.
Hmm.
So now they're just trying to feel each other out.
Interestingly enough, on the Apraxia Lyria, we've got burst rounds for both the engineers for those Artemis, and they have a gunner, a Bombardier Badfoot, with both burst and heavy clip, and interestingly enough, taking heat sink.
Uh, Not sure why. Maybe they want to avoid fire on
With
certain weapons.
with the recent fire, well, the
Buffs, yeah.
patch to the fire, yeah, it's definitely a risk, and I've seen the incendiary ammo recently doing a lot of good for some ships, so maybe it's probably just a precautionary
We got
measure.
flares and spots everywhere.
Flares and
Blue
spots
team is
friggin'
entirely
everywhere.
spotted.
Quadiant did have a spot, but he's managed to shake it by going behind that building. In fact, all spots have just been shaken, so they know the rough area, but it's a risky engagement, but all engagements on Petition Rumble are going to be risky. Oh, Falco and Enoch charging in. Falco moonshining and kerosining to get in to keep up with the Apraxia Lyria. Apraxia Lyria, beautiful Hwacha barrage. Papa Pecan has taken a lot of damage to his Hwachas. His Hwacha side is completely disabled facing into them. Papa Pecan taking a lot of damage now from that Gatling field gun, Gatling mortar combo. Apraxia Lyria managing to slip behind Papa Pecan to break QWERTY Artnyan's Gatling flak side. Papa Pico just managing to get that armor back up. Gatling hooking into the armor. Need to get that down before they get taken down by the QWERTY Artnyan timing his flak shots beautifully. Papa Pico goes down. Apraxia Lyria needs to try and disable QWERTY Artnyan before he can bring down the Falco Enoch. He needs to get that Hwacha barrage in there. Is it down? No, it's not. It's a... Come on, come on, come on. Oh, QWERTY Artnyan taking a lot of damage. Falco Enoch only just getting that armor back up. Oh, QWERTY Artnyan's armor going down. All of his guns are down, in fact. Only 2 engines left over. Oh, we're seeing a bit of tar barrel to block Falco's line of sight, trying to bring it so that only the Apraxia Lyria can fight. We're seeing no Hwacha barrage. There's the Hwacha barrage from Apraxia Lyria. Falco Enoch looks like he might be trying to slip down underneath this tar. QWERTY's dropping down to try and drop that tar into him, of course.
They use the tar to block out the sun, and Falco are like, okay, then we'll fight in the dark.
Really? Really? Really?
Sparta reference.
Oh, no, and here it is. Hwacha barrage hooking in. Gatling mortar opening up from the Falco Enoch. And the Falconeers have a 3-0 advantage. Very nicely done.
I mean, I don't think the galleon was a very solid choice. Ooh, QWERTY Artnyan spawning pretty close. Within eye shot of blue.
He's also very close to Papa Pecan, however. I doubt there's going to be any real damage done. And now, of course, the Falconeers are at an incredible health disadvantage.
Yeah, but provided they manage to engage and disable like they've been doing in the past few engagements, I think they'll be fine. I think they will be fine.
And of course,
This
as
galleon
you say, see what I'm
is having...
Apraxia Lyria going in way ahead of the Falco Enoch. Enoch's not going to be there for a while to assist. No real damage on Apraxia Lyria as of yet, but he's about to take it. Oh, QWERTY Artnyan, Papa Pecan opening up on him. Oh, yep, and here's the damage we expected to see. Apraxia Lyria doing a good job of getting its armor back up. QWERTY still focusing down on the Apraxia Lyria. Papa Pecan wasting a few Hwacha shots, missing that barrage there. Falco Enoch opening up on the QWERTY Artnyan. Jeez, they're blurring together now. Falco Enoch now taking a lot of damage. Papa Pecan turning his broadside. Apraxia Lyria trying to get that Hwacha barrage in to disable those guns. He manages to pull it off. Falco Enoch beautifully brought down by the QWERTY Artnyan, timing those flak shots well. Apraxia needs to try and escape from this. I don't think it's going to happen. Few flak shots, not quite timing that last one correctly. Oh, armor just going back up. Ah, there it is.
I'm not saying the QWERTY Art Neon carried that fight, but holy shit, the QWERTY Art Neon carried that fight.
Yep.
I mean, that extra Gatling from the Papa Pekin really helped, but their Hwachas weren't doing a whole lot of damage during that entire engagement. I mean, we saw that one Hwacha barrage from the Apraxia just disable that in its entirety, just showing the power of burst rounds.
Yeah, next time the Apraxia engages, I'm going to go see which ammo specifically he uses.
I think it depends on how close they get. Like, if they're mid-range, you'll see them probably using burst. Farther away, rather. Closer. Farther away, they'll be using heavy.
Yeah.
Just to consolidate the shot better.
Well, of course. I'd love to know which ones they were using on these previous engagements, which were bursting, so it's probably bursts. Like, they were bringing down entire Hwacha broadsides. God damn.
I'll watch it so you can stay in wide angle.
Alright, cool. I want to know which ones they're using. Alright, so we're going to see both teams group up. There's now no health advantage on either side. All full armor, all full hull, balloon, no component damage. We're going to see fresh engagements. Falconeers have the history of advantage in these fresh engagements. The BFS only really getting those kills using that huge health advantage they had over the Falconeers. So, I'm not quite sure how this next engagement will go. History dictates that the Falconeers will take this. But a good response to the Falconeers' inevitable engagement by BFS will, of course, cause.
Have we seen them play against a Galleon heavy sniping build in the past? I'm trying to remember.
Falconeers?
Yeah. I know they've faced a lot of like Junker, Prim or Prim sniper builds.
What did Polaris take against them? Was that Junker Prim?
I think so. Or wait. No, Polaris didn't play them. Polaris played BFS.
Ah.
So, that.
So who did they... Oh, they went up against Parfa?
Mm-hmm.
And Parfa took... Prim Junker?
Yeah, that or Prim. I know they like the mortar a lot on Parfa. Like, a lot of these teams are trading it for that added DPS.
Yep.
They like it as opposed to the flak, because the flak you get, what, 4 shots?
Yep.
And then if you miss one...
Whereas the mortar you get 16 or 13 if you load Lesmok.
Exactly. No, I see a space in the buildings. We might be seeing some spots go down here. Falco, they're not even looking the right direction right now.
Yeah, no. I doubt there are going to be any spots simply because of that cloud cover between the buildings. They have no idea where each other are, so... Unfortunate,
Unless they start shooting flares around them.
Interestingly enough, Quadiant Nyan actually has his carronade side pointed towards the middle of the map at the moment.
I think what they're trying to achieve with the carronade and the Hwachas is they want the carronades to strip armor, and they want the Hwacha to supplement with that explosive damage.
Yep.
But they're never getting the chance to with that dual Hwacha.
No.
Because it gets disabled by the Apraxia as soon as the Apraxia engages.
Back to the Junker for a second, if I could. It's great to see it come into competitive play as heavily as it has since that big patch. I didn't honestly expect it to become so prominent to the point where people are replacing Galleons in sniping builds with it. They're using it in brawls, sniping. It is as flexible as the Pyramidion and the Galleon. It's great to see it. Now we just need to try and get the Squid and the Spire in, and we've got a really good mix. Because the Goldfish is still used sometimes, as we're seeing the Falconeers demonstrate here, of course. Jeez, the Falconeers and BFS, just no idea where the respective teams are.
I mean, yeah, it can get hard. It's like when you're in Canyon and you go to try and meet the other team, but you just end up switching spawns and meeting in the middle. Same thing happens to me on Fjords occasionally.
Just having a quick read of Twitch chat here. A lot of meta discussion going on, which is good to see.
I'd love to see You know the gun to the left of the main gun
Yep.
on the Spire? I just want to see that turned forward.
That would allow you to bring 4 guns to bear. That would be
Hmm.
incredibly overpowered.
Maybe, maybe not, because then you're sacrificing having your captain on the helm if you do want to get 4 guns on there.
See, no, look, I think its firepower is fine. I don't think its firepower needs to be adjusted. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The rebuild time for the hull on that ship is far too long for how squishy it is. Far too long. It is extremely close to, like, a galleon's rebuild time. I'm not 100% sure of the actual number, but it is too long. Every ship with a lighter armor, goldfish, squid, they have a shorter rebuild time to compensate for it. The Spires is too long. I think it needs small adjustment. A second and a half shaved off it.
Or maybe like it, what, 2 hits?
Yeah,
Like
maybe
what's
2
the
hits with
second?
a wrench
What's
taken
the
off.
hit per second equivalent on as an engineer?
I don't know. Dear God, that is too much analysis. But it takes too long, and once that armor goes down, you have no chance of getting it back up before they burst you down. It is too damn long. That's all I think needs to be adjusted. Not its speed or its weight or anything like that, or its firepower. No. Just its rebuild time, just ever so slightly. Not its hull health, not its hull armor, just that rebuild time.
I mean, but that's like catering to the 2v2 maps, right? As
Yeah.
opposed, because like Spire has a place in 3v3s.
Even in 3v3s. Even in
Like,
3v3s, gets bursted down to nothing in seconds. I would rather take any other ship. I would take a squid over a spire.
yeah, but those ships do 2 completely different things. I mean, if you want the heavy guns, then you'd be taking a galleon as a replacement, right? And then you get 2
Yeah.
more heavy guns, more fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. A nice lumberjack field gun flak
I just
combo.
want to see a ship that has that massive howitzer and just can barely
The
turn.
town killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, the Falco Enoch has been spotted. The Apraxia Lyri has yet to obtain his own little spot marker. Might be feeling left out.
And it's gone.
And it's gone.
But
I
they
had a
know where
spot
each other
marker,
are.
and it's gone.
Falco, what's that Falco
I
Enoch
don't
doing
think
here?
the Falconeers know where they are at all. I think they've got a vague idea that they're somewhere in the vicinity, but I don't think
They
they've
know they
actually
got
got the spot.
spotted. Falco turned around to look at red team, so I think they have a vague idea. They just can't spot them yet.
Yeah.
And they see the flares going down, so that'll give them
Now
an
they
indication as
definitely
well.
know where they are.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an engagement as to how sort of cautious and long this takes. It's going to be interesting.
Squirty Art Neon hiding behind that building. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him pop up. I like the Junker's durability as opposed to the Galleons. Galleon can take a lot of armor hits, but once it's down, it's really hard to get back up. So unless you want to dedicate 2 engineers to fully tank, and that's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see the Junker start trying to tank blue team.
We're seeing great use of these buildings to shake spots, just add a bit of uncertainty to these engagements, make Falconeers just think twice before coming in. We're seeing, of course, some heavy clipped Hwacha barrage onto the Falco. No component destruction whatsoever, and in fact, the components didn't even take noticeable damage. No real harm done there. Interesting to see the Apraxia Lyri coming over the top and trying to burst down the Papa Piku and get those guns disabled, completely ignoring the Querdiat Nyan. Apraxia Lyri taking a bit of damage, only just getting that hull back up. The Falco focusing down on Papa Piku and Gatling opening up. Jeez, Apraxia Lyri, you need to turn, like, right now and
Beginning of
disable
this
Querdy's
engagement
guns.
is
This
going
is
to red
bad.
team.
That was really poor.
Apraxia Lyria needs to watch that balloon. The flare is just lighting that thing on fire.
Jeez, wow. The
And
balloon
it's
is down on the
gone.
Apraxia Lyri. The armor's going to fall. Oh, I think they're actually going to miss the flak shots just because Papa Pikun is in the way of Querdiat Nyan. But I don't think Apraxia Lyri is going to get out of this. Can he get the armor back up in time? Yes, he can. Finish the rebuild state. Ah, wow. Nah, goes down. That is just way too quick. That double Gatling shredding it. Ignore the Papa Peekun. I'm sorry, but the Papa Peekun isn't the threat here. It's QWERTY Nyan. You need to disable that Gat Flak side. If you want to focus Papa Peekun, you saw QWERTY Nyan in front of you. Hit him with a Burst Hwacha, disable that Gat Flak, then charge in.
But the problem with leaving the Papa Peekun's Hwachas up is the Apraxia will lose that front Hwacha. So I kind of agree with the choice of getting the Papa Peekun's guns disabled as quickly as possible, and then moving to the QWERTY. But like leaving those two Hwachas up is deadly. Like they were getting really lucky in the beginning with those Hwachas not doing a whole bunch of disabling on them. But now Red Team's starting to hit their stride, and they got to be way more careful. They can't give up a single kill. They need a double here, or they lose first game.
Well, all right. So would it maybe have been an idea for Apraxia opens up on Papa Peekun, disable that double Hwacha, while while Enoch focuses on QWERTY Nyan, tries to keep his...
Okay, here's how I would see it going, right? Apraxia goes in for Papa P, disables those Hwachas. Falco stays focused on QWERTY, and then Apraxia turns on QWERTY and then adds that extra explosive damage.
Yeah,
second Hwacha barrage in. Because it's going to take the Papa Peekun a very long time to get those Hwacha guns back up, and their reload state as well, just out of range of those flak. Apraxia's got to be careful. Just trying to bide his time, wait for Falco to get on the pincer maneuver here.
Well, yeah, a bit of a split from Apraxia and Falco, which is very nice to see. Falco's going to take a little bit of damage taking this approach, of course. But if he manages to put QWERTY in front of him, and between him and Papa Peekun, most importantly, Apraxia now turning in on Papa Peekun, we can see here. No, yes, no. Interesting that he turned his side. He predicted that Hwacha incoming, so he turned his side a bit just so the damage wouldn't be so damn focused on his gun. Enoch focusing down on QWERTY online still. Apraxia managing to disable the Papa Peekun's Hwacha barrages. Beautifully done. QWERTY Nyan taking a lot of damage from the Falco Enoch. Enoch getting his armor back up well before the Art Nyan does. However, Art Nyan has put Enoch in a tar barrel. Apraxia trying to engage on the Papa Peekun. Papa Peekun looks like he's going to have one of those Hwachas up. QWERTY Nyan only just getting that armor back up before sinking.
QWERTY is having trouble on that building, in between a building and a hill. He's having a terrible time.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, is he Velcroed? Oh, he is too.
Yeah, he is stuck there, man.
Doesn't that just suck? Apraxia is taking quite a bit of damage from the Papa Peekun. He needs to try and get that front gun onto that Hwacha barrage, that Hwacha broadside before anything can be done. He needs to disable those guns. Oh, Apraxia taking a ton of damage. Apraxia might just fall to the Papa Peekun. Falco Enoch opening up with that Gat mortar combo. He needs to try and strip QWERTY's armor again. Apraxia armor goes back up. Papa Peekun completely disabled to save one engine. QWERTY Nyan shoot venting to try and drop out from underneath of Falco. Falco manages to get the... Sorry, no, that was one breath. I couldn't finish that. Okay, Papa Peekun is largely disabled. He has not got a lot at this point, and now the Falco Enoch has the chance to move in on the Papa Peekun.
This may very well be GG unless Blue gets a really nice spawn out of this.
You mean Red? And Red hasn't actually spawned too far away. If he moves really quickly and Papa Peekun just goes pure tank mode, I want to see 3 men on that hull instead of the no men on that hull we're currently seeing.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna exactly say the same thing.
I know it was on the rebuild timer, but like you've only got one dude there now. Like
everyone's on the hull now, son.
And switch to spanners or wrenches, sorry. And yep, it's up. Awesome. Yep. No worries, no worries. Come on. What the hell have they done?
They're phasing through that one building.
Yep. Rebuild. Oh god, are they Velcroed? Oh god. Just going down. Nicely done by the Falconeers. The BFS, Black Flight Squadron, looked like they were actually going to pull back that match for the sort of the middle ground there, but the Falconeers managing to get a really good engage. So
and QWERTY got stuck in between that building and that house, which was really rough. Like they got a nice tar, and I think it was the Enoch, or was it Apraxia? Whoever was focusing the QWERTY. Anyway, they got nice, beautiful tar on them, and then they ended up getting stuck there, and it was just kind of all for naught.
The next map is Canyon Ambush, so let's all vote for it. Alright, so I gotta ask, Does Nyan actually mean anything? I've just got to see, because I know Chan, I know Samar. I don't know what sister
What's Kun?
is. Kun is friend. I'm fairly
Okay.
sure it's just like, it's just like a friendly honorific. It's like an honorific for friend. Okay, so yeah, it is just the sound Japanese cats make. Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
I
that makes
thought
sense.
that's what it was, because friggin', you know, all the catty, cute characters, and friggin' the chick from Elfen Lied does it. Anyway.
Oh, man, that anime is bizarre.
So, brilliant match. Canyon Ambush, kind of similar in the styles we're going to be seeing. I'll be very surprised if the BFS doesn't switch to a more snipe-heavy build and sit at one end of the canyons. Because, of course, Falconeers winning that match, they are loadout locked. They have to go in with the same ship, same guns.
I mean, I think they're okay with that. I think they'd be using this build anyway. They love it. They got that disable. They got that DPS from the Falco Enoch, and it's super hard to deal with. We see BFS leaning on that Prim Junker build that they always had, the Kusanagi, and their dual Merc one side, Flat Gat other side.
Gotta find out.
Fairly standard BFS type build.
Yeah. As to the Falconeers, yeah, they're just going to always stick with that same. They're going to... Their ideal scenario, of course, is to engage in the canyons themselves. But that's not going to happen. BFS is going to sit in one of these open areas at either end of the canyon. And they are going to wait for the Falconeers to engage. They're going to try and get this Huacha barrage, so...
So it should be very interesting. Hopefully we don't see more ring around the rosy with the two teams trying to find each other, because they're both very brawly. Like, they're not trying to avoid each other. They like to kind of bait and engage, right?
Yeah. So there we go. So I know this is anime again, but we're trying to explain the names here. Well, the names that were. So Chan is something you like say to a child or a sibling. So is Kun... Oh, so Chan is an informal honorific bordering on intimate. So what's Kun then?
Bordering on it.
Okay, it's intimate as in a good friend.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
like
don't use the word
something.
intimate then. I mean, Roman Carr supplementing Ophiax build very well for a sub. So Falconeers roster very, very strong, as we've seen evidence of.
Yep. Broken Blade and Kusanagi coming in. Junker Pyramidian, fair enough. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. The ship's just starting to head in now. We've started the timer for the match. What's the honorific equivalent to badass?
Gotta ask the important questions, man.
Yeah, you've got to ask the hard questions in life. Oh, no, they've switched quickly the name to the Furuguri, sorry. Oh, Jesus.
That last minute Twitch reflex.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point to doing that because the other team's loadout locked anyway. So last minute decision, maybe a mistake. We can't know. It should be interesting. So that means, did they go Pyramidian?
Oh my god! Twitch chat! Go Twitch chat! Look at the image, look at the GIF Honey Badger just made. GG, Honey Badger. GG, Honey Badger wins
cool.
the Sky Tournament. To hell with it. Okay.
Whoa, I got tripped out here. I thought the blues were like opposite map spawns for a minute. It really tilted me.
Okay, we've got red spawning in the canyons. Red being the Black Flag Squadron. I'm sorry. Alright. Alright, we have Black Flight Squadron spawning pretty much in the canyons. They're probably going to back out of that, what we expect them to do. The Falconeers, of course, are going to group up, start heading through these canyons, decide how to best engage. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a little bit of split approaching. It's interesting to see the red team so far apart. We're seeing Furuguri in D5 while Kusanagi sitting in B4. I would expect them to group up, go all the way into C5, as far away as they can get. Furuguri, Gatling flak front, field gun side. Kusanagi, field gun port, Gatling front, Gatling flak starboard. Dear God. I told you they'd do it.
We've seen this exact situation play out before. This is who uses against Falco? I feel like it might have been group stage, but they did go up against a Prim snipe build. This isn't much different.
Yep.
I'd even venture to say it's harder for a junker to snipe than it is for a Pyramidian.
We saw one of the new teams who didn't make it through. I can't quite remember the name. Was it ITL?
Valiant, maybe?
One of them took a Prim double quad field gun sniping build. You're right about that. They couldn't quite make it work, and the Falconeers 5-0'd them. Furuguri, Kusanagi, a lot better with the sniping build, and of course they do not care about the speed of the killing, hence why they don't have a galleon bringing in that flak. They're just
shots going
away.
Down.
Yeah.
They're very bottlenecked in the canyon they're in.
Yeah.
They got to be careful. I'd have loved to see Apraxia leading this charge. Falco Enoch
Furuguri
got 2 on him.
Turning nicely, getting that gap flak combo. Enoch taking a lot of damage. Apraxia Leary
nice. He's staying right behind that rock, zoning the Kusanagi shots. Apraxia Leary is probably going to move in to disable the Kusanagi and just leave Enoch to deal with Furuguri.
Yep.
Excellent decision making by Falco.
Beautifully done. They haven't really disabled any guns, but they're causing the Kusanagi to turn, get a little uncertain. Apraxia Leary is instead going to turn in. He's going to use this next Huacha Barrage to add some explosive damage to the Furuguri. Falco needs to try and get that armor down before it goes in, of course. It doesn't happen. Furuguri doing a lot of damage to the Enoch. The Kusanagi looks like he might be slinking around to try and get some shots on him. Falco Enoch getting that armor back up. Furuguri managing to tank it very nicely here. Apraxia Leary trying to stick to the Furuguri. Needs to get those front guns disabled. Otherwise, the Enoch is just going to take too much damn damage. Furuguri trying to shoot vent to try and get out of the Enoch's arc of fire. Oh, the Enoch going down. Furuguri only just getting his armor back up before ramming. And now the Kusanagi is opening up that gap flak side onto the Apraxia Leary. Apraxia Leary, pure and simple, needs to get out of there. The Furuguri is in no position to assist, of course. Apraxia Leary looking like he's dropping just a little bit of tar there, and he's going to slink into the canyons, try to get away. Group up with Enoch. Very nice choice. Very nice to see.
At that engagement, it was going beautifully for them. Kusanagi was very misplaced, but man, that ram just shit on that entire scenario for blue team.
Apraxia Leary only just getting out with his armor intact there. Oh, the curse of QWERTY.
He's got to watch those engines. He's got mercs just disabling all of them. So I want to ask you your opinion. Do you think it was good for the Apraxia Leary to go out, or would you have? Do you think they should have stayed away, just got 2-0'd, and then like had full hull health? I mean, they still have the armor advantage.
No, I think Apraxia Leary should have tried to survive. At this point, they've got enough health to not just feed a kill in the next engage.
Yeah, that's fine. Furuguri is so weak. Blue team needs to focus him down. They can get him down in like 2 seconds. Apraxia Leary could even go off and focus the Kusanagi and then like supplement a little bit more of explosive damage on the Furuguri while they're doing that, right? So I have no doubt Falco Enoch will just shut down the Furuguri in like 2 seconds with the amount of hull health it has. This will not be an even exchange. I do not think, unless blue team manages to get some really bad engage angles. And I think Falco's better than that at this point.
Interesting to see Kusanagi and Furuguri switching positions. It's interesting because it's an FPS sniping approach. You never just stay in one spot, otherwise people are going to work out where you are. They're going to counter snipe. or they're going to just send soldiers after you. They're switching position. Very nice to see.
Like they're using this canyon to try and like bait them, and then one of them stays in cloud cover, and then they wait, and then like,
Yep.
ooh, this could go really well for red team.
Yeah, this is a great engage. Apraxia Lyri, Enoch, they didn't know where they were. Apraxia Lyri, no,
Gotta
don't
get
go
some
in.
flares in those clouds.
Don't go in.
Gotta get some flares in those clouds. What are you doing?
Enoch is just, completely out of position. There is no way he is in any position to assist.
Goodbye,
Apraxia Lyri is
Apraxia.
going to take a lot of damage. Flak shots, hooking in, armor goes down, pop. Yep.
Boom. Goodbye.
it.
There's the flare, finally. Holy. Taking way too long for that. Enoch, you know what I said about bad engages? Yeah, that was prime bad engage there.
Oh, the Furuguri. Oh, looked like he was trying to return
Just-
the favor of that ram. Takes a bit of a bounce off the train. Enoch, pure and simple, needs to get out of there. Do not fight this! Oh, nah, he's going to take a a Gatling fire from both ships. A double Gatling focus. He's trying to focus down on the Kusanagi. It's not going to happen. Furuguri is just trying to keep him off him best he can, trying to get in between those shots. Furuguri beautifully bringing him down as well. No. Ooh, wow. We could be seeing this go to the 5th game at this rate.
Yeah. Bad engage angles, number one, you know, walking into the cloud where you're getting merc sniped from, and like you close that distance for them, so then they just use flag at. That was a terrible engage from Falco.
Yep. Oh boy.
I'd have loved to see that flare earlier too from the Enoch.
Yeah, while they were flying alongside there, I don't know why the flare didn't go down. I was a bit confused, but whatever.
I mean, might have just been an oversight, heat of the moment stuff.
I just think that was extremely poor communication between the Falco and the Apraxia Lyri. It was very disappointing to see. Apraxia Lyri already on such low health, just going in so far ahead of Falco. Falco deciding to take the long way around. I mean, stopping, turning, and then going in would have been no quicker, but as soon as the Apraxia Lyri died, I would have liked to see Enoch leg it.
When I looked to the top right, I looked at Falco Enoch's equipment, and I thought it was all red, and I was like, what did you do? And I realized it was white.
Lol. Woo. Get some cinematic views here.
So I was watching DreamHack yesterday,
Mm.
and Apollo was like trying to fill time banter, right? So his co-caster's like, I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. And Apollo was like, oh, Pennsylvania, isn't that where werewolves and vampires are from? And his co-caster just stared at him. And he's like, no, that's Transylvania. It was one of the single most awkward things I've ever seen in my life.
I just hate moments like that. Oh, man. The classic, the socially awkward penguin bit. All right, we've got blue team going in
they got
much
super
better way.
sneaking ninja mode from red team here.
I'm a
Ooh,
ninja.
blue team.
I'm a hoodie
This is
ninja.
some like Viet Cong guerrilla tactics shit going on from red team.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Beautiful engage on the Furuguri. Furuguri having no gun arcs to the beginning of this fight. Enoch taking a bit of damage there, bringing down the Furuguri. Beautifully done. Enoch needs to dodge those flak shots. Apraxia Lyri taking one of those shots to the front. And yeah, Kusanagi is just about to feel the burn.
I feel like blue team knew exactly where they were, didn't bother spotting them because they didn't want to let them know that they knew where they were. And then Enoch turned around and just shut down the Furuguri.
You can't tell when you're spotted, can you?
What?
You can't tell when you're spotted, can you?
Yeah, you can. At the top, there's your compass and then like an eye that shows you.
Ah, excellent. Well, there we go. Learn something new every day. I always just thought it showed you were in sight of an enemy. Alright, so Falco tried to come in behind the Kusanagi, possibly get a ram to try and slow his momentum. Missed it and has slipped to the bad gun side. Oh, Furuguri getting a great spawn coming in onto the Falco. Apraxia Lyri in no position to assist. Falco Enoch needs to get that armor back up. Furuguri looks like he's coming in for the ram. Beautifully done. Gatling flak opening up. Apraxia Lyri is going to take a ton of damage. Kusanagi opening up with that gap flak broadside. Apraxia Lyri needs to try and get out of there. But of course he is stuck between the Furuguri and the Kusanagi. Dropping a tar barrel to try and stop the Kusanagi's approach and gun arcs. Enoch needs
Kusanagi's
to
gonna end
move
up going
quicker.
around that rock. I don't know if that's a good idea. I think he should have just ridden through the tar. There's a space in between the tar and the mountain that he could have gotten through. Praxi is just gonna run. I think red team's finally figuring out just how to deal with this Hwacha fish
Yep.
and just like completely nullify its effect.
I'm a ninja. I'm a hoodie. Damn it! Now you got it stuck in my head. Damn it, Papa.
I don't even know what you're singing right now.
It's literally called Hoodie Ninja.
Okay,
I think.
he's Praxi needs to get out of here. Why is he sticking around? Okay, oh, man, this is rough.
This is rough. It's
The
yeah,
Hwacha
it's not
fish
going
is
great. It's not going great. The Apraxia is being focused down. They've realized that it is the real threat. They need to take it down before it can disable both their ships.
well, they either take out the Apraxia before it can do anything, or they take out the DPS before it can do anything. And
Yeah.
the DPS is coming from the Enoch, right?
Well, here we go. Enoch moving in, maybe a tad too far ahead of the Apraxia. We're seeing no real fire go down from it. He needs to open up like right now. He needs to get that heavy clip watcher in. Oh, no.
Oh,
Apraxia
bad
ramming
ram.
into the rear of the Enoch, taking his armor down just a tad, halting his momentum so he couldn't run away and just... Nope, that was not a great match for the Falconeers. The Black Flight Squadron doing a much better job that time, working out how to take down this build. Ugh, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this third match, which should be on, if Urs has messaged just correctly, Battle on the Dunes. So that brings the match total to 1-1. Interesting.
so we have Hardcastle and Gilder walked into this build. Their sniping junker. I feel like they've really kind of figured out how to use that to its full effect, chipping away at sniping builds, dealing with, as we can see, very brawly teams.
Sorry, just reading Twitch chat again.
Pop watching Falcons drop. That's illegal, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking that's like a great sort of fan line for a rap or something. Pop, 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 watch your fucking ears drop.
Okay, we're starting a fan contest where they need to send rap submissions. They need to just go on YouTube, find a cipher, and do
Yep. We need
do
to start a
quick
Guns of
Goyle
Icarus
based rap.
cipher. We need to start a Guns of Icarus cipher. We're doing it. Someone help me find a musical track from like the Guns of Icarus. Someone go to this Guns of Icarus soundtrack, pick like a minute worth, and yeah,
We'll
that
get
would work
Rosorius
well
to work
for
on it. Just some really cheap Goyle cipher. It'll be great.
Needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Okay, so we got... It's 1-1. Both teams are kind of figuring out what they're trying to do. We got Falco not changing their build. They're perfectly content trying to make this work. I wouldn't be surprised if Falco loses this next game if we saw that Hwacha fish disappear. You know what I'd like to see? You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see that goldfish take Gatlings on the side. Just so it can add to the piercing damage so that Enoch can take people out. Like, when the Apraxia initiates, it goes in, disables someone, but then isn't really helping the Enoch deal with whoever the Enoch is trying to deal with. So if they have a Gatling, they can kind of help supplement the piercing damage so that the mortar just needs to do all the work.
Yep.
And then you can turn around and use your explosive damage Hwacha to supplement the hull damage, right? So love to see, but it looks like they're going to be switching out the ship for a Pyramidion.
Interesting, really.
They're going heavy brawl here. About the exact same build as the Furuguri's using.
Yep. No time for
actually,
disabling.
You know what? I lied. I lied entirely. Gilder has a completely different side. We got Kyranid Flare on the Doug. Abetian Lacrimos.
Abetian?
Abetian? I mean, that sounds exotic.
Dear God, why? Why with the difficult names? At least,
I feel like he's going for like weird Roman names. And he's not even named Roman Car. That's the other guy.
I think it is Abetian Lachrymose.
I'm not okay. I was gonna Google search the name, but then like I pulled up the tab with your GIF, and I can't bring myself to exit off of that GIF.
I can't bring myself to close it.
The look you have in that picture. That needs to be a Twitch GIF or like a Twitch picture.
No. No.
The nostril
No.
flare in that picture, Cordy. Look at it.
No. Never. I refuse. I utterly refuse.
I looked it up and I get some weird nothing.
So we're seeing the 1-1 there. Switching into the Enoch and the Abetian Lachrymose, the Kusanagi Furuguri. Interesting to see the Falconeers switch out from their fabled Hwachafish build.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointing. I like seeing something, a bit different to the meta there occurring. But, you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you die. So, it has to happen. Sad.
Apparently lachrymose means like weeping or crying.
Really? Is it a Betian or a Beaten?
I don't know. That word literally doesn't exist. I've Googled it.
Abaton?
Abaton? No, it's like...
See, at least we're used to these names. They're not. They weren't the easiest to pronounce the first time, but now it's just Furuguri Kusanagi. We're used to it.
And I feel like NIDH, NIS, or NID, whatever his name is
NID,
like an English major. He's all just trying to make us sound retarded.
He likes messing with us. He picks deliberately the hardest words possible. I wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised
they are
if...
badass ship names. Apraxia
Oh, yeah.
Lyria is fun to say.
Alright, we're almost ready to go. Looks like the Black Flight Squadron have readied up. Yep, there's the third ready, so we are on a timer now. Alright, here we go. Going into game, wunderbar. Battle on the Dunes, classic map, nice and open, featuring the Juggernaut.
I don't know if going really brawly on this map was a good idea. I mean, I feel like BFS will just end up chipping him away. With those mercs.
They'll just
they
use
try to
that
approach
range,
that wall.
yeah.
And they lost their disabler from, mid-long range.
I don't know what to expect, I'm not going to lie. I mean, typically on this map, all we've seen recently is ring around the rosy around the Juggernaut with sniping builds.
Yeah, that can get so annoying. I mean, blue team here spawning behind that cloud, so they could try and charge, but that you'd just be walking into field merc fire, so that'd be a really bad idea. So figuring out how Falco's going to end up trying to approach us is going to be very interesting.
I don't know.
They do not have a lot of cover.
Do they try and slink down into the ribs, use that for the intermittent cover? And
Yeah,
then...
I feel like they'll need to go around one side of the map or the other. Like, charging dead on here, you're just going to get your armor torn apart, and then they're going to turn and just brawl. You'll be torn apart by that time. I don't know if using this cloud cover is a very good idea either. I mean, they could flare it up and then get all the spots. Enoch's getting really out of position here. He's going to get lit up completely by those two mercs. Lachrymose going through the dust cloud.
There goes Enoch's armor, and he's getting some of those guns sniped out as well.
Lachrymose lost 2 engines going through that dust. So they're already at a speed disadvantage for trying to charge in. And now Lachrymose
and an
is
armor
gonna get
disadvantage, and they're now completely out of position.
God, this is rough.
Enoch
backing up.
Kusanagi looks like he's turning. He's about to bring the gap flak side to bear. Furuguri turning those front guns. Oh, wow. Abetian Lachrymose is about to be... He is about to be bursted to nothing. Double gap flak opening up. Flax Need to be perfectly
Goodbye.
timed, and it occurs, and Lachrymose is down.
And
Yeesh.
Enoch, don't do it, man. What are you
Don't do
doing?
it. Oh, good.
Yeah,
It looks like
there it
it's
is.
trying to run away.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the...
But
Oh, shit.
the fact that he even went in a little bit is terrible decision making skills. Like you watch your friend pop and then you
Oh,
choose
wow.
to
Brilliant spawn by Lachrymose right on him. Enoch trying to turn, get away.
They may have just baited the Kusanagi with this. Very luckily, I'd say.
Oh, if they time the flat shots, they might be able to take down Enoch before he manages to get that armor back up and turn back in. No, they miss most of the shots. Only one connecting. For Kusanagi, Furuguri, they're not switching targets. They know that Enoch is feeling sore, and they are focusing him down in a big way. Lachrymose and Enoch focusing down on the Furuguri. Furuguri trying to back up.
Goodbye. And
Wow.
Lacrimose has been baited at this point. They're going to get torn apart.
Lachrymose needs to try and get out of there. What is he doing? Lachrymose, don't do it! Furuguri's armor is low, but it is not enough. Kusanagi Furuguri opening up. Double gap flat combo just tearing him apart.
The double flat gap pain shining through there.
Wow, this is a complete breakdown in teamwork here.
I almost would have liked to see the Apraxia on this map again, just so they had something to use it mid to long.
Yep.
Instead of like getting chipped away by a Merc cannon until they, you know, can just turn their flak out on you. Very rough. I think BFS is perfectly comfortable just getting locked into this build for the rest of their matches.
Yeah. They're comfortable with it. This is what they're most capable with. Oh, please tell me Lachrymose is not charging in right now.
How far is the Enoch? I have to see that.
Gotta look at the map, man.
He's getting chipped away. Yeah, he's way too far. I mean, the minute he engages, he's going to be walking into the Junker's flat gat, right? And then the Pyramidion will just turn to face. So if the Abetian can distract a bit here, why is he tarring?
Why is he tarring? That's a really good question. Furuguri's shoot vantage to try and drop out. Very nice choice. He's managed to dodge the majority of those flak shots, which would have killed him. Getting that armor back up. Falco Enoch needs to... Oh, yeah, and you know what? Focusing down on the Kusanagi, not a bad idea. Furuguri has put himself out of his own... out of gun arc, so he's not going to be able to fire. Oh, Lachrymose now taking a lot of damage. Furuguri now getting those gun arcs in. Oh, no, Lachrymose... Oh, no, isn't blocking the fire of Enoch. Looks like he was. Furuguri coming in behind Lachrymose. Lachrymose needs to do something. Nothing can be done. Enoch still trying to focus down on the Kusanagi. Can he bring him down? Oh, just misses that last flak shot. Trying to bring that armor down. Armor only going back up. Gatling opening up. Shredding the armor. Kusanagi falling for the flak shots. Now Furuguri in behind with the gun arcs. Gatling flak into the rear of the Falco
needs to
Enoch.
kerosene. Get in here as quickly as possible.
Can Enoch survive? He needs to go full tank mode. He's got two on the hull. No. Wild Godzilla, you need to stay where that hull is. Oh,
Yep,
going
ram.
down to a ram. Beautifully done. Wow, that was incredible. Nicely done by the Black Flight Squadron. Again, making use of that range, that incredible sniping experience that they have, and managing to bring down the Falco. We are seeing the communication on the Falco absolutely disintegrate.
Well, I don't think it's a communication problem. I think very much so it's an issue of, okay, well, let's talk about that last engagement. I'd have loved to see them keep on that Pyramidion and not focus that Junker. Junker was full health and like durable as hell, whereas the Pyramidion in that situation was starting to hurt. So I'd have liked to see him just stay on that because the Junker is so durable it can tank for days. So I'd have liked to see him just stay on that and take him out first. And I think that engagement would have gone a bit better. I think we would have ended up seeing Red win anyway, because even if you do come up, the armor disadvantage you'd be at that point is very hard to come back from.
Yep.
So
We're just going to have to go to a new lobby here, folks. Sorry, we had no Northern Fjords option.
same password.
Yep.
Making our lives easy.
Upper Paradox.
See,
Out of my slot.
I'm not in your slot. Rathburn's in your slot.
No, you're in my slot. No, the ref goes in the first slot. Yes. You. Alright, so. Now, interestingly enough, we're seeing this. Black Flight Squadron now have 2 wins over the Falconeers 1. If they win once more, that's it. It'll be a Black Flight Squadron victory. Of course, if the Falconeers win, we will be going to the 5th match scenario, which could be interesting, which is...
Oh, I love 5th matches. That's when it starts building up. That's like
it'll be
your
desperate
cogs
at that point. It'll be everything. It'll be
Yeah.
everything or nothing.
The one thing I'm vaguely scared of in best of 5, right, is if they do end up going to that final 5th match, if we'll see certain captains panic and start taking builds that they're not comfortable with, like and Nid taking his Pyramidion when we obviously know he's better with a Goldfish, especially on such a wide open map like that. I think taking a very brawly build on that map is a pain in the ass to use, to say the least.
Yep. Oh, I just don't know what to expect here. It's gonna be dangerous for both teams. Of course, BFS want to win this. They'll be able to shut out and just finish the tournament, which would be great for them, of course. However, Falconeers aren't going to make it that easy for them.
No, definitely not. Just waiting on the last of the PFS members to join. We got Roman Carr supplementing and filling in for Ofia, doing a very good job showing how high level Falcons roster is, even though they're new.
And they are a fairly new clan in comparison. It's very good to see a clan that's so fresh off the boat, I guess. It's great
Yeah.
to see them come this far.
We have, who else? We got the Valiant starting up, ITN.
Oh, alright, hold on. If we're going to do this, give me a second. I will get all the clans for us. I'm going to go to the forum and the clan thread, because it is something worthwhile to discuss, because there are a lot of them these days. You remember when it was back at like 3-4 clans, this currently available clans thread?
Yeah, you had the gents, you had the paddling, and you had what, like S-Mac?
Yeah. Alright, it is now the Armada of Perdix, the Art of Warfare, that British clan, the Bully Boys, the Cohort, the Dandelions, the Ducks, the Falconeers, Fleet of Sodom, the Flying Dutchman, the Gentlemen, Gentlemen Gamers, Haven, Mop 4, Northern Air Fleet, the Pastafarians, Polaris Company, Red Zombie, Sky Badgers Inc., the Sovereign, the Unknown Random Guys, the Valiant, X-Crew, and Zill's Merry Men.
I want to give a shout out to the Sky Badgers, man. They look professional as all hell. They got some beautiful fan art. They got some beautiful tutorial videos that are pretty funny.
Yep,
If you've seen them.
I have.
So shout out to the Sky Badgers. Very, very fun team.
I love
man.
that recent image they made with the 3 of their crew members. I want them to draw...
It's always the 3 of them. There's never that 4th person. It's like, where's the 4th person?
Where's the 4th person? It's like, he walked off the plank.
He's in the engine room. We don't talk about him.
Oh. People saying,
looks
Falconeers,
like-
get your act together. K-Penguin, send your hate to kpenguin@gmail. Don't even know if that exists.
You just condemned some poor soul who's not even related to Koyo.
Excellent.
Looks like we're jumping into the fjords. Another pretty open map, but much easier to close distance for brawl builds. We like to see we've seen BFS take the lower half, like bottom left half of that map,
Oh, yeah.
try and use that big massive piece of rock, the mountain, to avoid galleon snipe builds and just chip away at teams.
They have a brilliant match history on this map.
Yeah. It would be like 100%, including the cogs last season, wouldn't it?
Almost, yeah,
maybe
something
like
that.
75.
They've got a huge win rate on this map. Oh boy, the Apraxia not the greatest of spawns.
Especially when
Kusanagi-
your other team is sniping. Holy.
Oh yeah, this is gonna suck. Oh, Apraxia
Well, you can dip down low and try to avoid it, or back up, or, run, or just sit there. That's fine too.
Yeah, is he just gonna sit there and bait them?
And he's staring down the Kusanagi. Oh, he's gonna give him a
Oh,
watch.
wow, he's taken a huge amount of damage there. Kusanagi, no guns lost to it, however. Praxeoliri needs to try and avoid some of these shots, or he's just going to start dying. Again, the Furuguri and Kusanagi giving up that kill power at long range just to chip them down slowly. They are entirely happy to be patient about this. The Falconeers, realizing this may be their last match, of course, switching back to the Goldfish, the much more comfortable of the two ships for Nid. Oh, wow, the Kusanagi taking a lot of damage here. There's the Huacha Barrage. There goes his guns. That port side, that starboard side, sorry, completely disabled. Furuguri trying to focus down. He split his fire a bit between the Enoch and the Praxeoliri, so they're going to lack a bit of damage there. Kusanagi, beautiful kill by Enoch, timing his guns perfectly. A Praxeoliri backing up, dropping Furuguri into a tar barrel. Enoch needs to turn. Oh, I'm very surprised there's no Phoenix Claw from these two ships.
That tar completely backfired on the Apraxia.
Yep.
He tarred and then got rammed into his own tar.
Oh, wow.
Gotta be careful, Enoch. Kusanagi getting a really nice spawn. He's gonna be back in this fight in momentary, so Blue needs to opportunize as much as possible.
Yep, Praxeoliri needs to, yes, disable those front guns. Beautifully done. A bit of explosive damage, take down a bit of the armor. Falco, Enoch opening up gap flak combos. Need to time those flak shots perfectly. Only just not finishing him off, missing one of those flak shots. The armor's likely to go back up on the Furuguri. Not quite in time. He tried to shoot vent to avoid it, but again, just managing to bring him down. The Falconeers, Enoch. Kusanagi now, of course, needs to try and get the hell out of dodge.
He's got kerosene, so he's using moonshine, kerosene, and tar on Enoch.
Good spawn for the Furuguri. Good spawn.
I mean, if they go in for the Kusanagi, they could have a Furuguri right behind them, so they got to be careful. Like during the first engagement there, they kept like switching focus. Apraxia would disable one, move on to the second, and then at the same time they did that, BFS switched targets as well.
Yep.
So it's a very interesting engagement.
Here it is. Here it is. Praxeoliri's just spotted Furuguri. Can he disable those weapons before the Furuguri opens fire on him? Furuguri might be changing. He might be going for the Enoch. Enoch focusing down on Kusanagi. Wow, we saw no fire come off the Apraxeoliri, and the Apraxeoliri not having his Phoenix Claw is going to take ages to get his guns onto the Furuguri.
Where is that?
Wow, okay, that Huacha Barrage just never happening. Nowhere near in time. Wow, beautifully done by the Furuguri. Coming in, saving the Kusanagi, ramming into the Enoch. Beautifully done. Apraxeoliri, realizing the scenario extremely quickly, is going to fall back. He's going to try and run behind this mountain here, behind the sort of the arch here. And Falco, Enoch spawning down the other side of the map. So yeah, Apraxeoliri needs to run away. There's no chance of tanking for the amount of time he needs.
Blue wants to get that kill advantage and use it as much as possible. You can bait teams into making really stupid decisions if they're behind. So I think that's what Blue's trying to do, but Blue's got to be really careful here. That one Huacha Barrage, when the Furuguri passed off to go and focus the Enoch, that Huacha Barrage that went to shoot didn't do a whole lot. Like, it got engine.
If I may, Kusanagi is totally out of position. Furuguri way back, no position to assist. Apraxeoliri opening up with that Huacha Barrage, doesn't manage to bring down any components. Falconeer, Enoch coming in, doing a lot of damage to it. Managing to take most of the damage to the balloon, however, and now Enoch is taking a lot of damage from Furuguri. Furuguri coming in, trying to get him off Kusanagi, of course. Praxeoliri opening up on those front guns. Needs to, wow, misses a majority of the shots, some of them being brought down by the rocks as well. So Furuguri is going to have those front guns up. He's going to hook in with that. No flak shots incoming. Enoch needs to get that armor up before the flak shots hit. Only just managing to get that armor back up. Praxeoliri, for some reason, focusing down on the Kusanagi. Oh, Enoch brought down by the Furuguri. Furuguri only just surviving himself. Furuguri and Kusanagi bringing it back from a 2-0 shutout early on to a 2-2 even scenario. Praxeoliri has no real chance of killing the Furuguri, of course, and having a complete lack of damage. He needs to try and regroup with the Enoch, which is spawned back in B4.
We're gonna see. I think we'll see Apraxeoliri going down. He's way out in the open.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. 2v1 scenario. I don't think he has much of a chance here. I think we're starting to see blue team tilt a lot. There's a lot of pressure on them to try and win this. They got to win this game to continue this series.
Well, you don't continue in this series. Oh, you mean to go into the 5th match?
To tie it up and get it to a 5th game, you do.
Sure. Oh, the Enoch moving a bit forward, trying to save the Apraxia. Doesn't really matter as the Apraxia spawns quite close. Enoch needs to try and get back, get his armor back up. Oh, this could be a lot of damage. This could be really inconvenient. If Falco Enoch falls here, it's going to be a quick collapse onto the Apraxia. Apraxia needs to get this. Interesting, he's saving, he's waiting. He's trusting the Enoch to stay alive till he gets in close with that. Wow, and he just misses 90% of the shots. That would have been
Apraxia's gunner is really choking here. He is missing a whole lot of those Watcher barrages, man.
The weight is very much on him. If he misses, if he messes up, it's all on his head. Apraxia, you need to ignore the Kusanagi. You need to put that barrage onto Furuguri right now. And it's not going to happen. Enoch taking way more damage than the Furuguri. Furuguri looks like he's charging in, managing to get that armor back up before going. Enoch only just surviving as Furuguri passes over the top. Enoch, you need to get those gun arcs onto Furuguri. Oh, it's not going to happen.
Engines are fine. Both Pyramidian's engines are fine, but Enoch is not turning here. What is he doing?
Furuguri has the guns. Furuguri has the guns, and this is going
to be... Yep.
Wow, Enoch just bringing him down. Beautifully done. I'm not sure. There was just no turning at all from the Enoch, was there?
Apraxia is in a very bad situation here. He has to turn tail and run. I don't know why he's moving into the Furuguri here.
Yeah, this is not a good choice. Oh, wow, his front gun's managing to stay up. Oh, he's managed to pass the Furuguri and drop him into a tar barrel. The Kusanagi, however, has that long-range Gatling flak on him. Oh, yeah. It's not going to bring him down. At that range,
he can try and coast around that mountain, but he's got to get out of here, man.
Yep.
And that Junker's going to be on him.
The whole
time. Now he has dual flak or dual gout on him.
So wow, and the Furuguri's coming in behind. This is it. Unless the Apraxia can pull off a
run. You can do it, Apraxia.
Apraxia popping kerosene. He's trying his very best. Double Gat flak, triple Gat opening up. The Kusanagi managing to get a trifecta. Falconeer Enoch trying to come in behind. He's close. Can he save it? Apraxia only just getting that armor back up. Apraxia falls. That is a 3-1 victory for the Black Flight Squadron, managing to bring down the Falconeers in this, the finale of the Sky Tournament. Congratulations, brilliant plays by both teams.
Beautiful playing indeed from both teams, but man, we saw Falco starting to tilt a lot after that first game.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't expect that at all. Either way,
go to the fifth. I think all the spectators would like to see it go to the fifth, but man, that's it.
That's it.
Beautiful play from BFS. Beautiful play. Solid with that Junker, Pyramidian, snipe combo chipping away. Blue getting a bit over eager at times and just getting torn apart because of it.
Interesting to note, the Black Flight Squadron switched up their build in the first one. They paid for it. Switched back to their usual. Very much claim the day with that standard build that they know and love.
I mean, the one thing with that Hwacha Galleon is it was really easy for the Apraxia to get in there.
Okay. I don't know if this will be within the bounding box I set. No, it won't. Hold on. I'll just have to... Oh, it might be, actually. There we go. So here we are. Black Flight Squadron and the Falconeers. This needs to change... This needs to change to a 3. Okay. So there we are. The Falconeers have fallen to the Black Flight Squadron, crowned the Sky Tournament champion.
Yes.
Yes. Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Brilliant plays by both teams. The Falconeers coming out early, looking very dominant, securing that great kill, that great first game. But Black Flight Squadron switching back to their standard sniping brawly build, that standard Junker Pyramidian mix, and managing to do beautifully with it and pull it back 3 matches in a row. Incredible play by both teams. I congratulate you both, of course, for getting through the group and champion stages. And I want to thank, of course, all the other teams for attending, for being beaten, yes, but you gave it your very best. We saw some amazing matches in that first group stage. The Zax's Flying Goo, Looking forward to seeing them come back. That'll be great. And the Goon
I
Squad.
mean, a lot of upstarts starting to flesh out. We saw a lot of the veterans coming back into this tournament. A lot of veterans falling to some of the
Yep.
newer-ish teams.
Of course, brilliant to see Muse actually contribute competitively to an event.
I mean, they had a great showing with Kivias Morby lineup. Did very well.
Well then, of course we owe thanks to a few people. This has been a 4-week-long event set up by, of course, himself. So thank you very much for setting up the event, running it, setting up the match cards, and of course inviting myself and Puppy Paradox to cast it for you. Thank you very much to Rethburn for reffing today, setting up the matches for us, organising the passwords, and thank you to all the other referees who volunteered, came in and helped run the event
Tinker
smoothly.
Sunderland, I believe, helped you. Okay.
Of course, thank you, Muse and Kivice, for supporting the event and, you know, posting all the news about it. And, of course, thank you, everybody, for coming and watching every week. It has been a great event, and there should be a lot happening very shortly. Unless something has changed, I will be casting the Captain's Tournament with Morby, and, of course, CE Sports will be, hopefully, do not quote me on this, but a week or two from now.
We'll get those leagues set up for you so you guys
I'm
can
crossing
start scrimming.
everything crossable at this point. Well, then I believe that's it.